Okay, I am doing a gardening experiment and it's pretty major for me, so I'm hoping it works. I watched the film Back to Eden film and their method of gardening. If you keep your ground covered, you shouldn't have to water or weed, and I thought I might be able to actually be successful at gardening if I did that. So that's what I'm trying. After watching a couple different sites, they talked about doing lasagna layers for getting your ground ready because I have grass all over the place. So I put down cardboard. I started with newspaper, but it always wanted to blow away and it was small pieces. So I started looking for big pieces of cardboard and laying that down, getting some compost. And I didn't care about it going through its final screening or anything like that. It's cheaper if you don't, because I'm putting it out in the winter and it's going to sit for 4 to 6 months before it turns into, before I need it to be soil. So after I get this down, then I'm going to be putting down the wood chips, which hopefully tomorrow someone's going to be delivering wood chips. I know in a couple weeks someone promised me 9 cubic yards, and tomorrow someone's supposed to bring a truckload, so hopefully it'll arrive. This area here is going to be for my grapes. As you can see, I live in a subdivision, so we had to be creative with where we were planting things. We're just going to have a 24-foot section, probably have 3 grapevines in there. My husband wants Concord grapes, so that's what that section is. Did you video that? Okay. And then we'll go over to my next little section. When I went to a place called Edible Landscaping here in Virginia, I went a couple weeks ago to buy apple trees. And while I was there, I asked what else I could plant fruit tree-wise here in Virginia, and he suggested a persimmon tree. And he reached over and grabbed a persimmon fruit off of the tree in the middle of November. It was freezing. It was like 30 degrees, and there's beautiful fruit on the tree, and I tried it and loved it. So this right here is my persimmon tree. So this is the next area that I started. This was all grass. I dug a hole, of course, for the tree, and then started doing the lasagna layers here. In this section I have newspaper, the compost, and then mulch. And we're expanding it because a little further down is my blueberries, and I want to do one more blueberry bush there. So I just figured I'd connect both of those sections, not have to worry about mowing over there. And here I have a couple of my hard-working boys that they agreed to do some work for me today in exchange for some Buffalo Wild Wings. So I appreciate all the work they're doing. Okay, embarrassing that I'm even trying this gardening, because this was my little garden. It's about, I'm going to say 5 by 6. 4.5 by 6, but I really hate coming out and weeding and watering, and my house is all the way up there, and the hose, my husband won't let me leave out the hose, so that project I gave up a couple years ago, never even completed that. So now what I'm doing instead is I'm creating a garden in my backyard, because it's the biggest area. I started with fruit trees. I have 3 apple trees. I don't remember what kind. I think I got one. Oh, Christine, and Williams Fry. But anyway, so these are my 3 apple trees. I'm hoping to do 2 pear trees next to finish out my little orchard. But I figured that they would end my garden there. I'm hoping to put some deer deterrent plants back in the area right over there, which I haven't done anything with. but you can see that we did the layering here with the newspaper, the compost, and the wood chips. And for the last week, I guess, I have been searching high and low for for cardboard. No companies keep their cardboard anymore. They immediately break them down and put them in the recycling box. So I've had to be creative in getting my cardboard. But as you can see, we've been expanding. We picked up more compost today. And I think my garden is, well, not including a 5-foot section for the trees, I think it's 32 by 35. And my husband thought that that was plenty big to start. I think he thinks it's twice as big as I need to start. But anyway, we're going to try a couple things I thought were very interesting with the way that Paul from Back to Eden Gardens is when he plants potatoes, he actually waits until he harvests them, takes them all up from the ground, and then takes a few of the biggest ones from his harvest and puts them immediately back in the soil and covers them up, and then he doesn't have to plant them again. So I don't know if I'm too early in the season, if I don't have enough good soil yet, but I'm actually going to try that with a couple potatoes and see if that works. So, and I don't remember what other cool thing I thought he talked about, but if I do, I'll keep you updated. And I will say, I really don't know anything I'm doing, so I just keep watching the Back to Eden gardening videos on YouTube and asking questions on their Facebook page. So hopefully, as the year progresses, we'll actually see some vegetables growing out of the garden. Okay, I just wanted to add something. I forgot to tell you how my day started. I took my 2 kids and 3 other kids on a service project this morning. And when we got there, there had been a little bit of a miscommunication, and they weren't quite ready for us. So we told them we would come back next week and do the service project, which was fine with me because it gave me more time to work on the yard before Thanksgiving. So, but one of the last things that I noticed while we were at the community service center was a whole big pile of cardboard and some really big pieces, which I get really excited about, really big pieces. So they gave me all that cardboard, and I think I mentioned before that it's been really difficult for me to get all the cardboard I needed, so I just felt like that was God giving me a little reward today, and I wanted to share that with you. But the thing that made me think about it is as I was cleaning up the road from all the dirt and wood chips that have fallen on the ground from emptying out our truck, I saw a truck come up to my neighbor's, and it looks like there's a wood chipper. There was a wood chipper on the back. So right now I hear saws going. So I'm actually going to go down to my neighbor's and find out if they have wood chips available. And I just think it's so cool because God does things like this for me. And I just think it's so funny that He just can't stop blessing us. So anyway, just wanted to share that and say, yay, God. Hey, I told you yesterday I saw the wood chipper down the road, and sure enough, when I was in the house making split pea soup, I heard something and I looked outside, and the truck had dumped this huge pile of wood chips on my driveway. And we came out maybe 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and we finished putting wood chips on my persimmon and blueberry section over there. And now we started bringing more to the back. So I still don't know if the other tree service guy is coming this afternoon, but if he does, we're happy to have it. We still have to finish out the blueberry section, and I want to put a really thick layer in the garden. But I did want to show you something about these wood chips. You can see that they have leaves and twigs and all kind of things on there. It's not the kind that you would go to one of the big box stores to get any kind of mulch. This actually has organic matter in it, and that's what you're looking for, so this is perfect. We got about half of the mulch done today, and I just want to do one final clip for this week. As you can see, the garden, we got most of it covered. I tried to do a thick layer right here because one of the things I told you was Paul said that he puts the potatoes in the ground the same day he harvests. I'm obviously beyond that point, but I thought, let me take a couple potatoes and try to do that myself this week. So I'm doing 3 different kinds. These are red, and I'm trying to go down into the compost because I have so much mulch on here now. But anyway, so that's the red. These are some white, and I love baked potatoes, but I don't make them so much, so I tend to buy smaller potatoes. They're quicker to cook and just easier for us. So I'm trying a couple smaller white potatoes. They're still baking potatoes. And then 2 sweet potatoes. I don't know if this method works for sweet potatoes, but I figure I'll give it a shot. So that's it.